Been wanting to discover more fragrances from the house Amouage, and the sample that I have for you all today that is up for full review is from the Essence line, which is called Lustree. So there you all go. And this fragrance here, it came out with Reasons and Outlands, so I'm going to be doing a little comparing and contrasting between those other two fragrances with this one here, because I have got my nose to all three. More with Outlands than Reasons. This one kind of goes more in the lines with Outlands, but with that being said, let's talk about them. A little bit more on the Essence line before we hop into the fragrance. If you are interested in this line, I got good news for you all, because they have announced a lot of new fragrances for this line. I forget how many, but they have a good amount coming in to this line to add to the current three that they have. And once, they all look interesting to me, the note breakdowns and the accords, what I've seen so far online. So the ones I'm interested in, once I can get my nose to them, definitely going to leave a full review on the channel, or at least check them out, and then the ones I like, review them for you all. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into Lustree. Enough talking about the future of the line here from the house of Amouage. Let's go ahead and spray this on, why not, for the full review. So with this scent here, you're going to get something that is going to be, it's going to be woody. One more spray. I forgot we do 2 sprays on the channel. Jeez, 2 sprays. But yeah, it's going to be woody. It's going to be aromatic. It's going to be powdery. It's going to have an amber focus to the scent here. You could get that vanilla tinge as well with those accords. And then you're going to have some notes such as orris, so that could be iris. You're going to have some cardamom. You're going to have some cedarwood and sandalwood. And then also too, in the base, you could get things such as myrrh, labdanum, tonka bean, vanilla, cypriol is also in that base too. And this fragrance, when you first spray it on, it does have a very pungent opening, very amber forest, very resinous, very kind of not bright at all. It's not a bright opening. It is a very warm spice type of opening here with Lustree. Now with Lustree too, I will say that opening can remind people of a few things, and it reminded me of that as well. And when I mean that, it can remind you of Outlands a little bit, but the main player to me, this fragrance, what it reminds me of is a Tom Ford fragrance. It doesn't really smell like that, but I feel like they took bits and pieces of that Tom Ford fragrance and put it in here. I'm probably gonna butcher the name. I think it's called Ebon Fume from Tom Ford. It's one of my favorite scents from the house. I'm back and forth with the house of Tom Ford. Let me know in the comments what you think of that house. But back to this video with Amouage. That can give you bits and pieces of that fragrance. eBay Fume. That's what this one kind of reminds me of when it keeps developing and developing in the opening and then going into that mid. And then in the mid, you are going to get some resemblance of Outlands. But I will say with Outlands is more youthful. Outlands is more playful. That one reminds me of a little bit of PDM's Layton. When you smell it, not the same fragrance, not one-to-one. I always get confused when people try to relate fragrances and they say, oh, it smells exactly like that. Yeah, there are clones out there. There are stuff that smells exactly like the fragrance, but I feel like a lot of fragrances, when people say it smells like this, it's usually not a one-to-one. And when I'm mentioning these two fragrances, like with Outlands and PDM, Layton, it's not a one-to-one. This and Ebon Fume, it's not a one-to-one. They just kind of took bits and pieces of the scent and put them into those two scents. But back to Lustree here. As this dries down more and more, you kind of get more of that vanilla coming out, more of those ambers being very present. I will say the ambers kind of take a come back, and it's more of that woody scent here overall. Now, this is a more mature take, in my opinion, on Outlands, okay? So if you're looking for something a little bit more sophisticated, something a little bit more sitting to the skin, a little closer to the skin, this is what's going to be working for you. I feel like it's very mature, it's less playful, it can be something that I would wear to a special occasion, or also too, depending on how many sprays you're working with, you could wear it on a date night too. I would say it would work. I mean, same with Outlands as well. Outlands just projects a little bit more than this. And the reason I'm not touching on Reasons too much is because I don't really like Reasons. And when I sprayed it on, it was okay. But out of the three, Outlands and Lustree were my two favorites. And Reasons doesn't really relate as much to Lustree than Outlands. Outlands and Lustree, I feel like, are kind of similar in some shape or form. But don't get it wrong, all three of the scents, the first three scents in the Essence line, I feel like they kind of use that same amber base, that same woody tones that you get with all three scents. They are very familiarized within the whole line there. That's what kind of drags them together. But with Outlands and Lustree here, this is, again, going to be your more mature take on that DNA. And you would wear these kind of in, I would say, a little different situations. I feel like Outlands is more of your mass appealing scent. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel like this has got some mass appeal to it as well, but Outlands is the kind of top tier when it comes to this line if you're talking about mass appeal. I feel like this one would jive for a lot of people that are really into fragrances more than Outlands if you're coming into a fragrance connoisseur's mind per se. But I really like both. I really enjoy both. I would say right now I'm giving the edge to Outlands a little bit, but Lustree, like I mentioned, it's got some of that Ebon Fume DNA in it a little bit that I really enjoy. And this doesn't really, that one kind of goes more in the vanilla side of things. That one really focuses with the vanillas and the ambers. This one focuses a little bit more on the balsamic side of things, the powdery side of things, because you do get a little iris in this. That orris, iris, kind of very similar in that note, I will say. Some places say iris, some places say orris, whatever. But you do get that in that opening. It is present there. I do get a little sweetness from the vanilla, but usually comes in that dry down too. And I will say this isn't something that's very bitter, very has no sweetness at all. This does have a little tinge of that sweetness in it. But this one here is more focused on the powdery and the balsamic and the warm spice nuances, I will say. And Outlands does have that warm spice nuance as well that it focuses on as well, but that one kind of focuses more on the vanilla amber kind of combo with that. Now with Lustree here, I would say this would be a scent that I'd probably wear in the fall and winter time. Early spring could be an option for you. Summer, I'd probably look somewhere else. This could be a little bit too cloying. But compared to that longevity and projection, I would say longevity standpoint, this is very similar to Outlands in a sense that you will get that, I would say probably you're reaching around 12 to 15 hours with this scent on longevity, at least off my skin. On that performance, so on the projection of the scent, I would say this is a solid, between the first 2 to 3 hours, this is a solid 3 feet. And then after that, you're probably getting about 2 feet. I would say it probably projects for about 6 hours off my skin. This scent here, Outlands, it projects a little bit more. It projects, I would say, 3 to 4 feet, and then comes back to 3, and then goes to 2 feet. But this one here is always going to stay between that 2 to 3 feet kind of realm when you talk about this scent. And on the projection of this one here, you were going to get something around, I would say, 6 to 7 hours, possibly maybe even pushing 8 if you spray it on the clothes, for example. Like, I usually always spray my fragrances on skin, so I would say 6 to 7 is probably the sweet spot for me on that projection, how long it's going to project until it kind of gets closer to the skin. But I would say this is a closer skin scent than Outlands. This is more of the one that's going to be, when people come in, they're going to really smell it compared to Outlands. Outlands is kind of like, look at me, I'm out here, you know, you could smell me from a mile away type of scent here. Like, don't get me wrong, you can't smell it from a mile away, but it just pushes more than Lustree here. That's why Lustree kind of has more of a luxurious feel to it overall. But the warmth, the depth to it is very nice, well blended. Of course, with all these essence scents, they've been well blended, nice ingredients that they're using with the scent, nice perfumery overall with all three of them here. And they're definitely a nice kind of iteration on the amber style of fragrance, I will say. Lustree is going to be more of your balsamic take on that, powdery take on that amber type of scent, when Outlands is going to be more of your kind of sweet vanilla amber focus on the scent. Now, overall, I will say Lustree is more spicy to me. You do get a good amount of warm spice in the scent here, and the way the notes are working, it's very nice, very pleasant. And I will say that iris, the way it comes across to my nose, this does have some powder in it, but it's not makeup-y. It's not kind of that waxy iris. You're going to be getting a little bit more of that powdery iris, which it's not overbearing overall, orris, whatever you want to call it. But overall, Outlands is a very nice release, and I'm giving this one here, I'm giving it between an 8.5 and a 9. That's how much I'm enjoying this scent. I wish I would have picked it up earlier, but it's got me in the mood to pick up the other new fragrances that they have released and seeing the note breakdowns of those. Definitely, like I mentioned, going to get a few samples of them. But if you're looking for a different take on an amber compared to just those fragrances that really focus on the vanilla side of things, the sweetness side of things, when it comes to an amber type of scent. If you want more of the powdery balsamic feel, definitely check out Lustree. If you want something that's a little bit more mature but in the same realm as Outlands, like, don't get me wrong, they don't smell similar, other than when you get to those base, kind of the base of the scent, the deep dry down, that's when they start smelling very similar, because of course they're part of the same line, the essence line, so they kind of attach it in some shape or form with some of the few notes here and there, but they don't smell similar at all. There's enough to warrant no redundancy here. They got different names, of course, and they kind of focus on different things, so keep that in mind when you're buying the scent. But overall, Amouage, I've been very, very satisfied with all the scents I've tried. Originally, when I first started getting into scents, this was the first house I dived into. I kind of mentioned that in my Jubilation 40 video, and I'm glad I'm kind of doing a turnaround and coming back and checking out all the scents. I got another one on the way. I actually got a full bottle. It's a number 40. A little spoiler for you all. I'll definitely have that on the channel, doing a first impressions over that once I get that from the house in Amouage. But overall, Lustree, very enjoyable scent. It's getting an 8.5 out of 9 from me. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Lustree, and have you checked out Outlands? Have you checked out Reasons? Let me know your top 3 currently in the Essence line before those other ones come out. Now, I appreciate you all spending a little bit more time of your day with me to learn about the Essence line from the house in Amouage and Lustree, this fragrance here, and comparing and contrasting it to the others in the line. With that being said, don't leave just yet, because there will be my fragrance playlist. It'll have things such as reviews and challenges, and then there will be a video that the algorithm thinks that you need to check out from my channel. Now, I forgot to mention too, I'm kind of going away from the fitness side of things of the channel. I've kind of realized that is a detriment for everybody that's sticking around this long. I wanted to give you an update, and I'll give an update in some future videos as well. So just to let you know, I'm no longer going to be doing fitness videos on this channel. I have made a separate channel for that. I will start posting it in the description down below. So if you all want to check that out, it is Big Bear Fitness. That's where all the videos are going to be going to on the fitness side of things. And this channel here is strictly going to be fragrances. I am going to solely focus on maybe 1 to 2 videos a week on this channel, but I am still going to be uploading to that channel, Big Bear Fitness, for the fitness side of things. So mostly it's still going to be 1 video a week until I can figure out how I can amp it up and give you all more content on this channel. So always be expecting that video on Wednesday, and then that channel I'm going to be doing Tuesday videos, of course, like I was doing on here. I am just splitting up the channels. I feel like that is going to be the best for the future. So if you wouldn't mind checking that one out, if you're interested in fitness content, give that one a follow, subscribe to it, like it, all that jazz, share it, and definitely if you have not yet liked the video, subscribe to the channel and all that jazz on this one. It greatly helps out. And with that being said, I hope you all stay healthy, be positive, be true, and I'll see you in the next video.